The deal is your boy Norris, and this is the Bros. Well, actually, yeah, Bros Over Pros podcast, where we're just fans. We like this shit. We watch it. We don't sit here and act like we know everything, but we love our team and we love sports. But Josh, what's good, my brother? I can't even hear you, bro. Your volume. Oh man, this guy over here. Anyway, this is the Bros Over Pros podcast. I'm waiting for Josh to get his audio right. But it definitely feels good for the G-men to get into the win column. Like, just getting back in the win column feels good. Going 0-3, I would have probably, I don't know what I would have did, but it wouldn't have been good. Josh, you're going to have to go in and out. You know what I mean? Going 0-3 was definitely not on the menu, but the G-men show up, go into Cleveland and get a major win and kind of change the narrative of the Giants season at that point. Hold on, let me just bring in my co-host. Josh, you there?
Yep, you hear me? Check.
Yep. So let me do this re-intro real quick. This is the Bros Before Pros, Bros Over Pros podcast, where we're not pros, but we love this shit, and we're bros for over 20 years, and we've been following sports forever. We love the Giants. We love sports. We love all this shit. And this weekend, changed the narrative. Last week, Josh, I was sitting there, and I was like, bro, I don't see when we're going to win, how we're going to win. Our defense has been lackluster. Our offensive line's playing better. Daniel's playing better. We lose a kicker. Anything that will go wrong went wrong. We lost the game with 7 field goals. It was just crazy.
First in NFL history.
And then we follow up this weekend, all right? And we get a win. We get a win. And we get a big one in Cleveland against, and this is nothing, against a really good defense, right?
Right.
And to be honest with you, our offense is starting to roll. It looks like they're starting to pick up. Daniel Jones is playing better. He's playing better. Offensive line, they're not letting him get touched. I think he was sacked one time last week against the reigning defensive player of the year, if I'm not mistaken, right? And Myles Garrett, right? So we get the win. And now,
2 sacks.
Yeah, it was 2 sacks last week. Yeah, 2 sacks. But the offensive line is balling. Singletary's running all over the place. Malik Neighbors is balling.
Malik Neighbors is that dude. I'm telling you right now, we either had a number 1 wide receiver since OBJ, and he's that dude right now. And for him to do this as a rookie, to come in his 3rd game and show, like, I'm that guy. Game. I'm that number 1 guy.
From the first game.
Right.
But
it's good to see. It's good to see.
I mean, let's take it from the onset of the game, right? It seemed like it was a hangover from the last game, right? Opening play, Eric Gray fumbles. I'm sitting there like, are you serious? This is how we're going to start off? Another blunder from the special teams. We lost our kicker last week. Now this guy fumbles. They go. Deshaun Watson throws over the corner over Deontay Banks. Touchdown to Amari Cooper. I'm already sitting there like, Jesus Christ.
I'm glad that I didn't make it home in time. Because I was on the phone with you, and I'm like trying to get the stream. I'm like almost there, and you like, damn, first play of the game, fumble. I was like, here we go. I was like, do I even want to watch this game? 2 plays in, we down 7-0.
Yeah, and it was looking bad. It was looking bad.
It was looking bad. So I'm glad we picked it up. Eric Gray needs to come off. Kickoff returns.
Yeah, I'm not really big on having Gray there. I think he's kind of been really suspect. But we also are, our main guy, he's been out since the preseason, who I really love. I always forget his name. But this is what I gathered with, and people don't want to give credit, right? Guys, outside of the first game, which Daniel Jones played horrible, his first game really back. He's played pretty well over the last 2 games. Even against Washington, he played well enough to win that game. If we win that game, we're 2-1. We should be 2-1. He comes in and plays a really, really good defense in Cleveland, and looks sharp. I don't know how many yards he threw. You probably got the stats.
I got the stats right here. Hold on.
I know he threw over 200 yards in the first half alone.
Daniel Jones, 24-34 for 236, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, sacked twice.
He's looked good. He's looked sharp. He's going with and another. Listen, people are not going to give him credit. People are going to say whatever they want, but he has played well. Listen, if you guys are going to give him shit for playing bad, give him props for playing well. He played well the last 2 games. Nobody's calling for him to be benched in the 4th game, which is a positive at this point. The offensive line played extremely well. There were holes. Singletary, I think, was averaging another 5 or 6 yards a carry this week. Was running all over Cleveland's defense. Cleveland looked wasted on that week. We sustained long drives. Our offense was exceptional, to be honest. First half, our defense, aggressive, flying all over the field, coming after Deshaun Watson. I thought we had Wink back. I thought we were going after him.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, yo, who is this dude?
Yeah.
Usually very laid back, bend but don't break. But he sent the dogs out. He sent the dogs out this game, and I loved it.
Getting 8 sacks. I think we're number 2 in the league right now.
Number 2 in the league right now, 14 sacks.
But everybody chipped in. Lawrence had 2 sacks. Brian Burns finally showed up.
Hello, Brian Burns. Welcome to the Giants.
Hey Brian. But I mean, listen, it was exciting to see the Giants defense finally attack. I don't like the following week, the prior week versus Washington, we let a rookie, Jaden Daniels, who is probably the favorite between him and Neighbors for the rookie of the year right now, literally walk up and down the field, control the ball for 37 minutes. A rookie. We didn't challenge him. We didn't blitz him. We didn't do anything to make him uncomfortable. That made me sick to my stomach in that game.
It did make me feel better watching Jaden Daniels last night and what he did to the Bengals. Yeah. Even though the Bengals can't stop a nosebleed.
No, but Josh,
91% last night. Like, they're doing a good job with him over there.
Listen, they definitely are. But this is my point of last week. You got to do things to make them feel uncomfortable. You got to do things, and I feel like the Giants did not. They didn't attack. They weren't aggressive. They got ran over. Brian Robinson, he had I don't know how many yards. It was like 150, whatever it was.
Yeah,
they ran all over us. We did not do things to try to confuse Daniels. At least I didn't see that. And in the 3rd game, we played Cleveland. It was completely different against Deshaun Watson. We attacked Watson, and Watson can run too. So this would make me really confused. He can run. He can throw the ball. A lot of things he could do. He got Amari Cooper on the outside. We were very aggressive in that game. But against Jaden Daniels, we did not. So I was glad to see the progression of the defense, and I hope it continues to move forward, especially going into this next game on Thursday night. I hate when this happens. Yeah, so but
I do want to question why they stopped being aggressive in the second half.
Yeah, that was a little.
They kind of went back to very conservative looks.
Yeah,
zones, like no blitzing. Like the second half was a tale of two different games, and I want them to stay aggressive. And keep that pressure on,
Yeah, I mean, and listen, Shane Bowen brought over here. It was notably, people know that I think he blitzed like 30% of the times when he was in Tennessee. Doesn't like to really, he kind of relies more on the front 3, front 4 to get pressure. It hasn't been happening. And this time he kind of just said, you know what? Let me do something that people don't expect me to do. Let me change let me get into a wolf's clothing right now. Let me go after these guys. And that's pretty much what happened in that first half. And listen, Daniel played well. Singletary played well. Neighbors is just Neighbors. I mean, I'd like to see more from Theo Johnson. I don't know what the hell he's doing out there. But the offensive line.
This game too.
Yeah, 2 of them. The offensive line right now, and I don't think anybody's really talking about them nationally. I was talking to my brother, Gerald McCoy, yesterday. And I was like, and because, he covers football more on a national basis. So I was asking him a couple of questions. And one of the questions was, why isn't nobody talking about Carmen Brasillo right now and what he's done for the Giants offensive line? I think we've been ranked over the last, I don't know when the last time we were ranked in the top 10 offensive line. And Brasillo has these guys balling. I was arguing with other people. Oh, but they got this guy. Listen, we've signed people, we've done all types of things, and have not cracked the top 20. This man has just came in. We got John Runyon, Van Rotten, and Jason Illuminor, and a couple of those guys were his guys that he picked, and we look completely different. They're not even getting near Daniel Jones. They're not getting near his feet. We're rushing. I wish we had Saquon with this line that we have right now, right? But not to take nothing away from Devin Singletary, because Devin Singletary, I think he leads the league, and I've seen this stat. I don't know, I could be inaccurate with it, but making the first guy miss. I think Singletary leads the league right now in that category, which is crazy. Devin Singletary's balling. I mean, it looks like it's starting to come together. Daniel's looking down the field. I would like to see him throw the ball more to other receivers, because once they start doubling down on Neighbors, even though Wanda Robinson's stepping up, we need that third guy. Slayton went down.
Jalen Hyatt.
He did get a shot early. They threw a deep ball early.
Jalen Hyatt. We need Jalen. We need that deep threat to take the that safety
top off the defense. Yeah.
Davis.
But I mean, and listen, you got to crawl before you walk. Let's be real. I don't expect them to grab everything now, but going forward, we already know teams going to start. And this is another thing I like, by the way, what we're doing. We're moving Neighbors around. We put them in the slot. We put them on the X. We put them on the Y. He is all over the field. He's never in one location, which I really love. Kind of similar to how the Cowboys use CeeDee Lamb, right? But still, I think we need to.
He even had a direct snap in the red zone.
Exactly. And listen, the fact that we're competent right now and we're actually scoring touchdowns. We didn't score no preseason touchdowns. We didn't score a touchdown in the first game. I'm very happy. But the better defense we're going to play, the better teams that we're going to play, they're going to take away Neighbors, and that's what's going to tell where we're going to be at this year. And to me, Wanda Robinson's definitely stepping it up, but there's got to be that next guy. There has to be another target, in my opinion. But right now, Brian Daboll, I think, is calling a really good game. He called it against Cleveland. I mean, what else did you see in that game?
I think this is the tale of the defense. This was a defensive game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Deshaun Watson haven't had a good game yet, as of yet. Like, what happened to him, yo? He reset the quarterback market with his contract.
Yeah,
and now everybody's looking like they're underpaid compared to him.
Well, I mean, Deshaun Watson, he gave kudos to the Giants offense and Giants defense, and whatever. Listen, whatever's going on with Deshaun Watson, going on with Deshaun Watson. I don't care. At least usually when we would face teams like this, that quarterback would roast us. He would destroy us, right? So that's progress at this point. But
I mean, the front seven played like the front seven that we thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I mean, we're paying them like a top. Yeah.
7 guys had at least half a sack.
Yeah.
Brian Burns was all over the place.
Yeah.
I think he had 2 forced fumbles, 2 sacks. The defense is was the catalyst, and we didn't have Drew Phillips, who went down early.
I see where you're coming from with that, but you can't take away the fact that Cleveland was, I think, the number 1 rated defense last year. Like I don't think. Listen, Cleveland wasn't the best offense last year, right? They weren't number 1. That was their Achilles heel. We took advantage of it. We didn't let them break out against us. That impressed me was the fact that our offense was able to handle the MVP and that defense. Daniel Jones didn't turn the ball over. I mean, he almost had one earlier, but he settled down and he played well. I think I get it. Yeah, the defense definitely was more impressive in regards to what they've shown in the last couple of weeks. But the fact that our offense handled a really good defense. Cleveland is regarded as probably one of the top 5, top 10 defenses.
They're top 5 D.
And the Giants handled them.
The Giants handled them, correct.
We handled them. The offensive, listen, I get it. I know a lot of people in the league do not want to give Daniel Jones credit. They don't want to give our offense credit. Everything's going to Neighbors. Neighbors is phenomenal. But that front 5, Andrew Thomas, John Runyon, JMC, Illuminor, Van Rotten, these guys are balling. Like, they are literally balling. And I feel like, I know people do not want to give them the credit. But I'm going to say the offensive line right now is top 5 in the league. right now. I don't want to hear it. People are going to say whatever. They say whatever they want. But those guys right now, there's a lot of teams. Listen, you don't think Joe Burrow will be like, let me get those guys over what we have right now?
Yeah, Joe Burrow will love those guys right now.
I think the Jets say the same thing. Let us get those guys right there. I mean, I feel like you got to give that credit. But and this is leading forward, going forward. We got the Cowboys on Thursday, who've notoriously tortured our offensive line, destroyed them with Lawrence on one side, with what's this guy's name? Jesus, Micah Parsons on the other side. They have notoriously whipped our ass in the front line. This is going to be a huge test to see where our offensive line is. We're playing a similar foe. We're playing someone that always listen. Lawrence made a career of sacking Eli Manning till now. We're talking about Eli. We're already 6 years in with Daniel Jones. He's made a career of sacking New York Giants quarterbacks. They have killed us on the defensive side of the ball. This Thursday is going to be one of the biggest measuring sticks. And not only that, think about this for a second. We're both 1-2. Right?
Right.
Going to 1-3 is definitely going to be is huge. We're at home. The crowd's going to be rocking. It's the Cowboys.
Thursday night, prime time. This is also a test for Daniel Jones, too.
100%. I don't even want you to pull up his primetime stats. His primetime stats, I think we have one win. So this is going to be a huge test for the New York Giants this Thursday. I can't begin to tell people how big this actually is for the New York Giants. This game right here could bring us to 500 and beat an opponent that has beaten us time after time, have been in the backfield. This is going to be a huge test for Daniel Jones. It's going to be a huge test for our offensive line. Not only that, Shane Bowen, this is going to be your test. You're playing Dak. Dak has been killing us over the last few years. You're playing CD. You know, they're hurting at the running back spot. I don't expect them to run the ball against us, and they should not be able to run the ball against us. What's the stat? I already see you read it.
You don't even want to hear it. You don't even want to hear it.
I want to hear it, Josh. I got to hear this.
Daniel Jones is 1-12 in primetime games. His last win was a 20-12 victory over the Commanders.
Oh, the Commanders.
2022.
1-12, people.
1-12.
In primetime games. And what is Thursday? A primetime game. This is going to be and listen, for those people that don't think that these stats matter, Daniel Jones is definitely thinking about that 1-12 going in. He knows he's 1-12. Every 5 seconds in that broadcast, we're going to hear 1-12 at primetime games. The Cowboys.
0-4 on Thursday nights.
100%.
The Cowboys.
This is a huge test.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this is a game where we have to continue to throw dirt on the Cowboys' grave. We have to. They're 1-2. They're very talented. CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott seem to be not on the same page. This is not the game we want them to get on the same page. We need to have Deonte Banks on his game. We need Drew Phillips on his game. We need a defensive line attacking them. Their offensive line isn't as good as it once was. Their running game, Ezekiel Elliott is 75 years old. We have to, this is one.
And not to mention, their defense is giving up they're ranked 21st right now in the league, giving up 40 points a game. Giving up 40 points a game, and they're rushing
40 points. You said that can't be real. No way.
They're giving up 40. I'm looking at it right now.
What the hell did they give up the last
game? Over 40 points a game.
I know they got smacked by the Saints. They just lost to Baltimore.
They gave a 44 to the Saints and 38 to Baltimore.
And how about the first game?
The first game was the Saints game.
No, they 1-2. You just named 2 games.
Hold on. Let me go back to that stat.
40 points a game is absolutely insane. That is crazy. Oh, let's see. 1 week from
Week 4 defense. Total points. Let's see. Hold on.
This is a huge game, man. I don't think you can really downplay how big of a game this is for the Giants and this season. This can be the difference of us making a run to the playoffs and gaining that necessary confidence, and also kicking one of your biggest rivals. I hate the Cowboys more than any team in the league. The Cowboys and the 49ers. I cannot stand them. Those are my two biggest rivals, being a Giant fan forever. 40 points a game?
20, they gave up 89 points on the season. 29 points a game they're giving up.
So you're giving up about 30 points a game. I mean, and then this is another thing. I think
185 yards on the ground.
On the ground, a game is crazy. This offensive line needs to smell blood and really, really run these guys over. They're having trouble stopping the run. We have to take advantage of that. Devin Singletary needs to see 25 carries this week. He needs to. We need to really beat these guys up. We need to move Malik Neighbors around. Somebody else got to step up. We need the tight ends to play ball this week, and we need Shane Bowen to not play a shell offense. Do not allow Dak Prescott. And there's another thing. When they played Baltimore this weekend, Baltimore was aggressive. They were getting at him, and all of a sudden they went into like a soft shell type defense, started letting them throw seam routes, and all of a sudden the Cowboys were back on it. And this is the thing. Once Dak Prescott is a streaky type player. Once he gets on a roll, it's really hard to stop him. So he's coming coming on a roll right now, going to this Giant game, and we have to be on him earlier. We cannot allow him to just throw underneath and get hot and let CeeDee Lamb move around. Listen. These are games right here where you have to smell the blood in the water, and the Giants have to take advantage of it. The difference between being 2-2 and 1-3 for a team like New York is big, Josh. We need this win.
We need it. We definitely need it. And against the Cowboys, we haven't beaten. I feel like we haven't beaten them in years.
Dude, I don't know the last time we beat them.
I don't even know when the last time we beat them.
No, listen, in a game that mattered. I mean, I would probably have to go back to the playoff win in like 2000. Was it 2007 or 2011? I don't even remember when we beat them. That's probably the biggest game we beat them. And listen, we got the Cowboys, right? But it doesn't get easier. We got the undefeated Seahawks the following week in Seattle. So this
game has to be a Devin Singletary game. Has to be.
Yeah.
20, like you said, 25, 30 carries. Got to control the clock. Just keep their offense off the field.
Yeah.
Control the clock.
Yeah.
And you said something earlier. You wish we had Saquon behind this line.
I said, can you imagine if we had Saquon behind this line? Yeah.
I don't think Devin Singletary is that far off from Saquon. Saquon, he used to lose a lot of yardage.
Yeah.
He used to he would just break one out, and then he'll go from averaging, he'll go from 7 carries for 6 yards and then run a 65-yarder.
Yeah.
And now his average is up again.
I tend to agree
I feel like every time Devin gets the ball, it's positive yards. He doesn't lose yardage as much.
Well, the one thing that Devin does really well is he doesn't lose yards. He's a north and south type of player, but he did show some explosiveness last week when he should have had that 60-yard touchdown. He did show explosiveness. But Saquon is a home run hitter. That's what he does. He's a good receiver out the backfield. The one thing when they signed Singletary that I really liked was the fact that he does not lose yards. And when you have an offense that struggles to stay on the field, it kind of works against you when your running back goes for negative yardage. It's very rare that Singletary gets stopped early. Saquon used to do that. I'm not going to sit here and say he's better than Saquon, but I'm going to say this. I think Singletary is better for the Giants than what Barkley would be at this point. And the reason I say that is because we wouldn't have been able to sign Runyon or Luminor if we got Barkley.
Brian Burns.
Yeah, exactly. Brian Burns. We wouldn't have been able to fix that offensive line and be in the place we're at. Listen, Singletary's averaging about 5.5 or 5 yards a carry.
5.1, I believe.
I don't believe that Saquon Barkley in his career has averaged that much. I could be wrong. But the one thing that Singletary gives us is that it's just you get him the ball. If he doesn't have anything, he's still going to land for 2 or 3 yards. He makes the first guy miss consistently. I mean, he's everything you want. And listen, he's keeping that rookie off the bench. He's really balling. And listen, I got him on my fantasy team, so I'm super hyped to have him. Like I told people before, I told my boy Brad, I was like, look, we all know Saquon is Saquon. But this man averaged more yards than him last year. He runs a different style. He doesn't lose yards like that. Oh shit! I'm about to burn the rice. Hold on a second. I forgot my wife don't know how to cook.
We can talk about like Wan'Dale Robinson has also been very impressive in the slot. He's elusive. He's quick. He's back from that knee injury. I think they should move him around some more too.
I mean, I like him in the slot. I think they're doing a lot of good things. They kind of easing him in a little bit.
I need a jet sweep or something with Wan'Dale.
You're gonna see that more.
Give him the ball with some room. You know, like the teams are gonna go after Neighbors now. They see it. So we need somebody else to step in, like you said before. Slayton, I don't know where he's been.
He got hurt. He got hurt in the game. He was definitely hurt. Somebody said, "Don't worry, my hometown Lions are going to
take care of it."
I hope so. I mean, I don't care. I'm not worried about the Lions. They're good. They're a physical team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your hometown Lions. Tell him to stay away from Dan Campbell's house, man. He had to sell his house. He had to put his house on the market because after every loss, they was going to his house and harassing me and his family.
Keep talking, Josh. Let me make sure I turn this rice off because my wife is insane.
Yeah, Dan Campbell. So, Dallas on Thursday. We got to remain aggressive. We can't let up because Dallas going to put points up. They're going to put points up on the board. We're going to have I don't want to get blown out again. We at least stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know Dallas is supposed to be good. They 1-2 right now. They're still trying to adjust to their new defensive coordinator after losing Dan Quinn. So they haven't come to stride yet.
Wait, hold on.
Dallas defense. They're still trying to get used to their new defensive coordinator. I forgot who the guy's name was, but after losing Dan Quinn.
Zimmerman. Was that Zimmerman? No. Wait, there were people. Hold on. There was people going to his house.
There were people going to his house after losses.
That's insane. Are you serious?
Like, this is a team that was 0-16 at one point, the laughing stock, and now they're going to this man's house who changed the franchise.
Former New York Giant draft pick, by the way. But back to this Cowboy game, man. I think people don't understand. I mean, people do understand how big this game actually is, man. Like, this is what I really want. I haven't wanted a game. Listen, I hate the Cowboys, Josh, like no other. Like I can't stand
Cowboys and Eagles. I think the Eagles have gone a little bit higher on the scale for me.
It's because of Sirianno, the coach. I can't stand
Sirianno. He is annoying. I want to just punch him right in the face.
His dick. Somebody said Dallas is terrible this year. We're not making moves in the offseason. It's hurting them. I mean, I hear what you guys are saying. I got to bring my guy Jay Tuck on here. He knows a lot more about the
They got shredded in the playoffs and made no moves.
I mean,
they shredded them.
Well, you got to think about it. You had to sign Dak back. You had to sign back CeeDee Lamb. You're looking at how much did Dak get paid? 60, I think, or something like that?
Something like that. 60, 65, something like that.
I think it was 65. I think. I'm not 100% sure. You had to sign back CeeDee Lamb, and you still got to sign back Micah Parsons. It's not a lot of room to wiggle at that point. There really isn't. I mean, just being honest, there isn't. Their
window is closing quickly.
They let their left tackle go. He's at the Jets right now. I mean, he's old, but I mean, guys, you got to make a decision. I mean, it's tough, especially when you have those type of players. CeeDee Lamb is going to come in. What do you got? 34, 35 million. They had to pay Dak Prescott. They still got to pay Micah Parsons. It's not as simple as just, all right, guys, let's go.
I think they paid Trayvon Diggs too.
That was like last year.
Mm-hmm. And then Deron Bland is going to come up this year.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it.
Their window is closing quickly.
Yeah, I mean, and I still think they need to help CeeDee Lamb out on the other side. A lot of people, they got what's his name at receiver.
They brought in Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, they got Cooks. They had him last year, but Listen, if the Cowboys are vulnerable, it's right now, and I think the Giants really need to um to take advantage of that this week, man. Listen, Giants were voted as the worst roster walking into the season this year. They have an opportunity to change a lot of people's thoughts, and even with Daniel Jones. Listen, Daniel Jones, I'm not saying even him playing well right now, I can't say he's going to be back next year. I'm just being honest.
I want to question who voted on this worst roster. Like we got a lot of Deontay. We just like the secondary maybe is very young.
Yeah.
They haven't really came into their zones yet. Flott and Pinnock. I think Pinnock is the oldest, and he's 27.
Yeah.
Deontay Banks on one side. Now we found a gem in Drew Phillips in the third round this year.
Yeah.
The linebackers Okereke and McFadden. Those guys are very talented. Okereke is probably one of the best middle linebackers in the league right now.
Okereke definitely. McFadden, I think he had the highest miss rate though at tackles last year, which is crazy, and he still had over 100 tackles.
And then and Kayvon had a great game this game. I mean, he's playing the run pretty well, and he's really not known as a run stopper. And I think that's the Brian Burns effect. Like he's been working with Brian Burns. They like became best friends. Well, it looks like they hanging out all the time. And of course, Dex in the middle. They got to support him.
You know what it is. A lot of people's opinions are based upon the fact that one, you're playing in New York, but also Daniel Jones. I think a lot of what people say about the Giants roster is based on Daniel Jones. Because of Daniel Jones, our roster stinks. Because of Daniel Jones, New York stinks. Because of Daniel Jones, anything that can be said bad about New York or the Giants is going to be said. He's been somebody that's been antagonized since the inception of him being drafted with the New York Giants. And people forget his rookie year, he threw 24 and 12 in 12 games. So I think it was like 3,000 yards. He did have the 19 fumbles. I forgot how many he lost, but he played well. And up to last year, I don't know what happened, what went wrong. If it wasn't for last year, it'd be completely different. And him getting a $40 million deal. But to be honest with you, and you brought this point up yesterday, they just gave a man that has identical stats to him $55 million a year in Trevor Lawrence. And where has Trevor Lawrence taken them? I think he has one playoff appearance. So does Daniel Jones. And he was, I think, a number one pick. He was done
number one overall. And like they were tanking for him, supposedly.
Yeah. Bro, they got their boot smoked last.
Let's not mention that he had weapons over there.
They got their boot smoked yesterday. But I mean,
I'm glad that there was a second Monday night game on yesterday.
That was dope.
I would have been livid watching that second half. I changed to the other game. I started off watching the Bills and the Jaguars, and then I was like, wait, 28. I think it was 28-0 in the first quarter.
They were going to
coming into the second quarter, and I was like, oh, the other game's starting. Let me change to that one. At least that's a better game.
No, but, I mean, you got to think about what's their record right now, the Jags. I mean,
I think they're over.
No way. Are they 0? Hold on. I'll tell you right now. Jaguars are, the hell is their record? 0-3. Now, they also got a coach that's known as a quarterback coach, and they stink. But listen, again, you don't hear nobody killing Trevor Lawrence. You don't hear nobody.
They just named the stadium after him. Did you see that?
No, I did not know that. That's insane.
So but supposedly
it's not equal. And this is another thing. And I talk to my brother Gerald all the time, right? All the time. And he breaks my balls about Daniel Jones, whatever. And I gotta pose this question to him. Why is it that the same energy is not met with Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence is not winning. He's not even playing well. He's not even putting up stats on a bad team. Like how many points did they put up last night? Jacksonville.
Oh man, a 10.
Okay.
47-10.
I don't see anybody talking about him. Daniel Jones.
17 points the first game. 13 points the second game.
Yeah, bro. Daniel Jones
against that Cleveland team that we just beat. By the way, game 2.
I would look up Daniel Jones stats versus Trevor Lawrence this year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could be.
I'm gonna read you Trevor. I'm gonna read you Trevor Lawrence's stats right now.
Yeah.
47 for 89, 52% completion,
Yep.
560 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, sacked 11 times.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
I think Daniel, the last 2 games definitely well.
Right here. Here we go. Coming up.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Daniel Jones, 62 for 104, 59%, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, sacked 8 times.
Okay, and 5 of those sacks were his own fault.
And 5 of those sacks were him running in to sacks.
Somebody said something. My man Hype Man said the Jags aren't historical like the Giants. I get it, but you're not attacking the Giants. You're attacking Daniel Jones at any cost. They're not attacking the Giants. They're attacking Daniel Jones. From every commentator out there, it was so crazy when I was talking to my bro, and he's doing a hell of a job at the NFL Network. Shout out to Gerald. That they're actually commentators. There's actually people behind the scenes that are literally attacking him because it's a story. It's bullying. It's like guys stood. Honestly, I got to take my hat off to Daniel Jones. First of all, the fact that after the first game, coming off a ACL or whatnot, fans are waiting for you outside, harassing you, and you bounce back in week 2 and play like you did, and then bounce back week 3. And I feel like Daniel Jones may be on a mission going the rest of the year. It could. I'm listening. It's premature what I'm saying right now, but Daniel Jones, if he can get out of the season and have a hell of a season the way he's going right now, he's mentally tough enough to play anywhere. Because this is a man that's been attacked, brutally attacked through the media. They have singled him out as the bad guy, and he's played better. And even Gerald told me, you can't name 32 quarterbacks better than him, but ESPN ranks him as the worst quarterback in the NFL. I think they had him like a number 34. They had backups.
They had backups ahead of him. I remember seeing that, and I was like, are they crazy? He's gotten criticism since that card was handed in draft night. Number 6 pick, Daniel Jones. He's had criticism since back then when he was young coming into the league. Nobody believed in him.
Yeah.
And he's playing well, and he's in New York, the mecca of media.
Yeah. But it's crazy. I don't see nobody talking positive about Daniel Jones. He had a hell of a game against Cleveland. Where is listen, if you're gonna meet him with the guillotine every week, why don't you celebrate something? You haven't been able to do it the last 2 weeks. They were blaming Daniel Jones for Washington, and I was sitting there like, he played well. What did you want him to do? Kick the field goal?
Well, I heard on New York radio this week, they were talking about Malik Neighbors, and his body control and how he's catching, everything.
Yeah.
And that touchdown pass in the corner, the first one, they said that's a bad throw by Daniel Jones, and Neighbors bailed him out. If he throws that ball any lower, that's deflected, that's picked off. Like, he put it in a spot where his guy and his guy only can get it.
Listen, I watched Eli Manning. Oh, I'm a huge fan of him. I have his jersey, his game 1 jersey hung up in my house in a frame, make tons of those throws where he would just throw 50-50 balls and expected his receivers to win it. The great players, the great quarterbacks do it. There's a lot of great quarterbacks that say, you know what, I'm going to put it up there. This is my guy. I got a guy. And again, not a lot of people have a Malik Neighbors. But when you have a Malik Neighbors, you have to believe in it. And one thing that I love what Daniel Jones told Neighbors, it was like a conversation this week. He said, if you're one-on-one, it's either you catch it or no one catches it. And basically telling him, I'm putting it up there for you. That's what players are supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. Lean on your guy. If you got a guy like that, let him go get it. He's gonna win. He's gonna win 80% of the time.
You don't think that Aaron Rodgers was hanging on Devontae Adams to put up balls that he knew, or even when he throws to Garrett Wilson, you don't think throughout the years when Calvin Johnson was playing, Favre, you know how many 50-50 balls you throw? You're betting on your player winning. Eli Manning used to do it all the time. The
mailman just said it as you said Brett Favre. He made a living off of 50-50 balls.
50-50 balls. But that's my thing. I'm like, yo, bro, you critique everything he's done, but yet you don't give him credit for what he did. And I hate that. Like, you got to let him play out the year. Let him play it out. If he doesn't play with the Giants and he continues to play well, guess what? It's not going to be an easy decision to just let him walk. Listen, let's say we win 9 games. Let's just say most people don't got us winning 9 games. We're not going to get a quarterback. We're probably going to be stuck with Daniel Jones next year. But if Daniel Jones is balling,
and you know what, $40 million is looking like a discount right now.
I'd rather
pay 65.
Listen, I'd rather pay $40 million for Daniel Jones than 55 for Trevor Lawrence. I didn't hear anybody crying about the 55 million they gave him, but as soon as Daniel got the 40, it was helter skelter out there. It was hell. The Giants are stupid. I didn't hear anybody say the Jaguars were stupid for giving Trevor Lawrence 55 million.
I want to tune in to Jacksonville radio this week and listen and see if this is as bad as they talk about Daniel Jones here in New York.
I was just on Bleacher Report of Jacksonville. Right? Check this out. They're saying Doug Peterson, everything's on the table amid Trevor Lawrence, Jaguar struggles. He's saying they're not even ruling out benching Trevor Lawrence. Bro, they gave him, look at this contract. 5 years, $275 million. That they gave him this offseason. This man had the same stats as Daniel Jones, and he got 275. And I didn't hear not one of those ESPN commentators, not one of those NFL Network commentators complain, bitch, and moan. But Daniel got his 40. He got his 160 for 4 years, and we have an out in the third year if he doesn't get injured.
Right. The contract is basically you can get rid of him for nothing next year. So
yeah, 100% as long as he doesn't get hurt. But listen, it doesn't make sense, and I know people are going to say the New York media. Listen, I don't know whose wife Daniel Jones slept with. I don't know. I don't know what he did to some of these individuals to be attacked the way he attacks. Even when he plays well, Daniel Jones threw a bad ball to Malik Neighbors. Well, guess what? Sometimes when you throw a bad ball to a great receiver, they make it into a great play. That's just what it is. You're going to take that chance. You're just going to take the chance. When you got Malik Neighbors, when you got Wilson, when you got Devontae Adams, when you got CeeDee Lamb, there are plays that you're going to throw to them that you wouldn't throw to your average receiver. And those quarterbacks that are throwing those balls to those guys, they're going to be praised for it. But yet Daniel Jones gets destroyed for everything. I don't like his sweater. I don't like the beard. I don't like this about Daniel. And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
his face, he looks retarded.
Yeah, that's all. There's nothing ever positive said about Daniel Jones. It's always something negative. And listen, guys, I'm not saying that he's been lights out, but this is the first time in his 6-year career, that nobody's on his feet. The offensive line. Listen, Carmen Brasillo might be people are saying Malik Neighbors could be saving Daniel Jones' career. Let's also add Carmen Brasillo to that, because he has that offensive line balling. Stop giving me, yes, listen, I love Neighbors. I don't want to take nothing away from Neighbors, but without that offensive line blocking the way they are, they're not getting the ball to Neighbors. It's not getting
Carmen Brasillo has had a top 5 offensive line in every year that he's coached.
That's no way. That's 100% real.
That is a stat I saw the other day.
That's insane.
Top 5 offensive lineman every year that he's coached.
Bro,
look at the Raiders. Look at the Raiders unit last year.
And then the Patriots. It was the Patriots.
And the Patriots units.
Yeah. Bro, they need to sign him for life. Give him. I don't care what it is. Do not let Mr. Brasillo out the door.
Pay him like a defensive coordinator.
100%. Please do not let him go. This is the best offensive line play I've seen probably since like 2007. And I'm not even exaggerating. When 2011, when we won the Super Bowl, we were ranked 30th or 31st. 30th. That's insane. Insane.
That's a crazy stat when I saw that the other day, too, that we were ranked 30th.
And Eli still threw almost 5,000 yards. And this is what I'm saying, guys. It starts up front, and you got to give Brasillo credit. You got to give Joe Shane credit for hiring Brasillo. I mean, guys, let's just say, and I don't know I'm reaching. What if the Giants do make the playoffs this year? What happens? What are you gonna say? Oh, Daniel Jones ain't win it all. It's always gonna be something.
Of course, that's gonna be the narrative. Daniel Jones didn't win it all.
No, they're gonna give
Daniel
Trevor
Jones,
Lawrence $65 million next year. That's what they're gonna
yeah.
do.
They're gonna give Trevor Lawrence a raise going
And this is
6-10.
his deal is looking like a bargain. And this is the crazy thing. He plays well this year. Let's say he throws 26 touchdowns. We get to the playoffs, which is a possibility. The Eagles are struggling. The Cowboys are struggling. The Redskins are playing better, but I don't think the Redskins are better than us. I just don't. Jaden Daniels, yeah, he's playing pretty good. I think we have the better team than the Redskins. I think we're the more talented roster.
We're definitely more talented. But the difference is that what they're doing with Jaden Daniels, like he's not turning the ball over.
Yeah.
He's their offense is like I forgot who said it. One of the corners from the team they played last week was like they have a nice little college offense going. You know, that college offense put up 35 yesterday. So
no, I mean Cincinnati stinks. I'm not gonna. They've been stinking, but I mean, let's say why. Like our division is better than I think people think. I think the Giants can creep in if they get a couple more wins. They got. I mean, if they can pull out the Dallas win, then they go to Seattle. Then they got Cincinnati. We could be at 500 by then. We can start making some plays. Listen, the more confident Daniel Jones gets, you don't know what can happen moving forward.
I'm not last week I was talking. We might not get a win until week 9 when we play the Commanders again.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about going 2-2. We should be
2-1 right now.
2-1 right now if we had a kicker.
Yeah, we should be 2-1. We should have beat Washington. I'm sorry. There's no way we should have lost that game. It was that didn't even make sense. But you know, I know people are gonna probably think we're crazy or whatnot. We're homers, but I'm definitely excited for Thursday. Now, if the Giants go out there and lay an egg, I'm gonna be looking at Dable like, come on, Dable. Like, your offensive line is too good. You know what I'm saying? Shane Bowen, you have to continue to have that defense. You got talent. That front seven is talented.
And play aggressive. Play aggressive. That's all. That's what I was asking for last week. Play aggressive.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing.
Can we stop? And can we stop going 1-on-1 at the goal line with the opponent's best receiver? I don't. Yeah. I know. I love Deontay Banks. He's good. But 1-on-1 on the goal line with their best receiver is a touchdown every time against anybody. Darrell Reeves could have been out there, and that would have been a touchdown.
I mean,
it's twice already. They did it. In with the Vikings and Justin Jefferson, and then this week.
I believe in Deontay, but I'm with you on that.
But I don't think he's being used correctly either. He's a press man cover.
Mm-hmm.
He's a press man cover corner, and he's off the ball all the time. If you watch the games when he is pressed in front of the guy,
yeah,
he stops them. But when he plays that off coverage, they need to do a better job of matching him up. I know he's young, and I mean he's young, so I guess they trying to feel him out or whatever. But
Deontay
press man coverage. Use him as the press man coverage that he came in here to be. You drafted him as a press man coverage. He was I guess he was a wink guy. I guess he was a wink drafted pick.
I mean, listen, Deontay, he's young, right? I love Deontay, but it's not like he's getting any breaks. He follows the best receiver around. You know, he does these things. He's played well. I mean, you gave up some touchdowns, but you're going to give him up to the best guys. I don't know what's his PFF grade or whatever, but I haven't seen a receiver really necessarily kill us like that. But, you know, you got Justin Jefferson, probably the best receiver in the league. McLaurin, I think, is very underrated. I don't think he did that great against us. But my whole thing is, I do agree with you. Let's be more aggressive. Let's let him press guys. Screw it. I get it. We're going to give up big plays. Let's get a mixture. That's what I want to see. I rather initiate the aggressiveness than let somebody be dictated to us. That's how I feel in regards to how the Giants should be moving forward. But that's just me. I liked Wink. The one thing I did not like about Wink is that he didn't adjust. He just kept his answer to everything was zero blitz.
Yeah.
I think you need a balance. That's why I love Steve Spagnuolo. I think Steve Spagnuolo, to me, is the best in the league. He understands how to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive. And sometimes there's Shane Bowen. Sometimes he's not aggressive enough. And like Wink was too aggressive. We need something in between. And I think you're correct in that. I think guys like Drew Phillips, who I love, is going to continue to develop. The kid out of Minnesota, Tyler Nubin, I love him. Listen, that right corner back spot, it's a little nerve-wracking. We got Adoree back. But
Flat.
I think, we got Flat. But
I thought he was going to step up a little bit more. He played well at the end of the season last year.
Yeah.
And then training camp finished and they signed they signed Adoree Jackson back. So there was a little bit of question, even with the staff, about him.
Yeah, I mean, he was injured, but at the end of the day, I'm not mad at that. I think the further we progress in the season, I think that defense is going to get better. I think that secondary is going to get better. I think Tyler Nubin's going to come up and start making plays. I think Drew Phillips is going to continue to get better. I think the continuity between the defensive line, between Lawrence and Thibodeau. Listen, we haven't even brought this guy up, which is crazy. Azeez Ojulari. Please.
How did I miss that in my notes?
Please. Azeez is that guy. Like his rookie year, I think he had 8.5 sacks. Let that guy go. Let him attack the quarterback. Azeez Ojulari, that's what he does. We're going to lose him in the offseason because he is that talented, but I hope we don't because he's that good. Listen, when you got Azeez Ojulari, you got Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence on the inside, Kayvon Thibodeau. Let those guys go. Let's be aggressive. Let's do it. I don't want to see against the Cowboys just sit back and do this. Give a mixture to Dak. Let Dak see different coverages. Dak is a great quarterback, but I really do believe CeeDee Lamb is his one and only guy that really puts fear in me. I'm not scared of Brandon Cooks like that. I'm not scared. I mean, their tight end kills us, but their running game, they should be one-dimensional next week. We should be making them one-dimensional next week, and I hope Shane Bowen doesn't get passive this week. Treat Dak the same way you treated the matchup against Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson. I mean, I'm looking forward to Thursday, man. What's your prediction for Thursday?
Thursday, I don't want to be a homer.
Yeah.
And just pick the Giants. I want to be
objective.
I'm gonna keep it real. The Giants lose, but we stay in the game. This will be a defensive battle for Daniel Jones and the Giants. If they aggressive with the run game, which I expect them to be, like you said, Devin Singletary needs 25 to 30 carries.
Yeah.
Tracy needs to get in there. They need to control the line of scrimmage with the offensive line and control the clock and keep Dak off the field. It'll be 28-21 kind of game.
I'm going to be a homer. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be a homer with this one. And I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to be a homer. I think the Giants, I think we're home.
Yes.
I think the Giants are going to go in home. I think Daniel Jones is going to break his little curse that he's had on Thursday night games. I think Daniel Jones is going to play well. I think our offensive line is going to play well. And just like years ago, in 2000 and I want to say 17, when the coming out party was a Sunday night game and Odell made the catch, I think we lost that game. I don't remember. But I think it's going to be a coming out party for Malik Neighbors this week. And I think we're going to win 27-23 in the Meadowlands in a very, very physical game. I think the Giants need to be physical at the point of attack. I think they have to beat CeeDee Lamb up everywhere he goes. I think they have to hit Dak Prescott as much as possible. Do not let Dak Prescott's jersey needs to be extremely filthy, ripped, torn. And I think we're going to win the game 27-23 at the Meadowlands. That's my prediction. I'm disappointed in you, Josh. I get it. I, I think I think we put
I'm
Dallas.
there, but I'm not there yet. I'm
I
there,
think
but I'm not there yet. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong this week. I
I
want to
know.
be wrong.
I
Prove
think
me
we win.
wrong, New York Giants.
I think that offensive line of Devin Singletary are going to dominate the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to nullify Micah Parsons. They're not going to let him attack. And I think Andrew Thomas is going to have a huge game and Devin Singletary. So I'm going 27-23.
You got to run at. You got to run at. You
And
got
that's
to
what
run
Singletary
at
does.
Micah Parsons.
That's what
Run
Singletary
right
does.
at him. I think so, that's what Green Bay did last year in the playoffs. They ran right at him, took him right out of the game. They can tackle.
The one thing Singletary does, he runs really well between the tackles. That's where that's where the Cowboys' weakness is. So we're gonna need those guys up front to play well, not get confused. I need them to shut Lawrence up. I cannot stand Lawrence. All he does is talk crap about the Giants all day. We need to shut him up. This man says, Hype Man says, now you got to stick with your home team as a loyal Lions fan. Listen, Matt Patricia was a terrible coach, by the way. But I think we win. I honestly think we surprise everybody and we go 2-2 this week. And people are going to say, well, Daniel Jones stinks. They're still 2-2. But I think we're going to win. I think Daniel Jones is going to play well. I have a feeling that Mr. Jones is going to have a good game. And I think Malik Neighbors is going to have a coming out party. I think this is his first primetime game, is it?
First primetime game.
Because the first one was at 1 o'clock. Yeah, this is his first primetime game.
First primetime game.
I think Malik.
Thursday night, the whole world watching. Prime Video.
Doesn't kill, but we're going to talk boxing another show, Mel. Man, I got you. But yeah, I think Malik Neighbors is going to have a coming out party this Thursday night. I'm super jacked for it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have the wife wearing a little Giants cheerleader outfit. She's gonna cook for me this Thursday night. We're gonna have a good time. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I really do believe. I feel it. I feel it, Daniel. I feel the inner Eli in you. I still believe.
Put that quote up right there because that's gonna be the narrative after the Giants if the Giants win.
What?
When the Giants win, they will make the story that the Cowboys being a terrible team. No credit to the Giants offense.
Of course, we didn't get credit for manhandling the defensive player of the year. I think he was the defensive player of the year. I'm not 100%. I think he was last year. Cleveland's defense was crazy. We did extremely well against them. Okay, he said when the Giants win, will they make the story about the Cowboys being a terrible team? No credit to the Giants offense. 100% Hype Man. I agree with you, but I'll tell you this. I'm gonna get historical on you guys. The 2 years we won Super Bowl, we were not a good team. We weren't supposed to be there. We didn't stand a chance. I'm a believer. I'm a homer. I'm a Giants fan. You know what I mean? So I think the Giants win this Thursday, 27-23. I think Malik Neighbors has his coming out party. Listen, Malik Neighbors, he said he wants the crowd to scream what? Leak, right? Leak. That's all you're going to hear this Thursday. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear it.
And we have to bounce back from that 100th anniversary, all the legends in the stadium.
Jesus Christ.
Terrible game, week 1.
Yeah, no, 100%.
We got to show the fans we're here.
We've been on the road the last 2 games. Yeah, we've been on the road. Yeah. So this is going to be the real homecoming. And that's another thing. For some strange reason, the Giants lose a lot of home games, like big home games. Like, it's just weird. I don't understand, like, why we don't win at home. But I need the fans to be rocking. You know what I mean? I need the fans to be adamant. You know what I mean? Daniel Jones walks in. Treat that man with some goddamn respect, please.
Put some respect on Daniel Jones' name after this week.
Yeah.
Put some respect on Daniel Jones' name.
I think Daniel Jones has a really good game. I'm not going to say the next thing I'm going to say, but I'm going to save that for later. So I think he has a really good game this Sunday. I want him to shut up Lawrence's big freaking mouth on that other side. Jason Illuminor needs to play well. Andrew Thomas needs to play well. That offensive line needs to dictate the terms to them, and we have to get the ball to Singletary 25 times. I believe it. We're going to win this Thursday. New York Giants football. We're going to beat the Cowgirls.
I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I'm still a Giant fan, so you see the flag behind me.
No,
see, I got my See, I got my. I'm about to change this name right here to Singletary.
Oh God, I can't even see that guy. He's on my fantasy team. That's the only thing. Like I can't even look at his name. Like, it just makes me sick to see Barkley with the stupid earring. It just gets me mad, man. Like but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy to have Singletary. I am super geeked to have him. That's what I'm gonna say. I'd rather have him and our offensive line than Saquon Barkley. Let's keep moving forward. Let's go blue. Josh, we out of here. You know what I mean? That's all. My God.
All. See y'all next week.
See, I might come back live on Thursday. I don't know, man. I'm hyped for this game, but we out of here. Fuck the Eagles.
Yeah, I think I'm calling out. I think I'm calling out sick on Thursday. If my boss is listening,
you look sick. You look a little sick right now.
I'm sick, right? Look, my eyes is drooping.
You look absolutely sick. I think you should call out because I'm going to be watching the game. I'm going to be home. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. My guy Josh, we out of here.
All right, peace.
Tune in, guys. Next Tuesday live to recap. Actually, we're going to recap the game. I might recap it on Friday because Thursday's the game, but who knows? But we are out of here.
I'm off on Friday this weekend, so we good to go.
Let's do it, my guy.
All right.
And the